Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with special guests such as
Dayon Buchanan, Tom Waddle, Pierre Desir, Brent Berry, Ed Werder,
and many others.
Too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the CS Podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/ChristianRE722.
Did you not get the memo?
That's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722 for great interviews. Be sure to check out the CS Podcast.
You are ridiculous.
Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafel, and I'm now joined by Delta State defensive back Richard Nash. I appreciate you taking some time to chat, Richard. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, just finishing up finals, man. Just ready to get my story out there. I'm glad you can have me.
Hey, man, the pleasure's all mine. Sounds great, and let's get right to it. Richard, coming out of high school, you were named first team All-City, All-Region, and All-Country. You're also voted the best defensive back on your team, and you decided to attend Georgia Military College. Now, coming out of high school, how did you decide that was the place you wanted to go?
Honestly, I mean, a lot of schools would come to Westside and recruit me, and they would be surprised when they see how small I was in person. So it kind of shied them away from me. Kind of bigger D1 schools or whatever. They was impressed by my game, but they were scared to take a chance on me because of my size, and didn't think I'd just probably mold into the type of player they would fit their system. So it was Middle Tennessee State. They were recruiting me real heavy throughout my entire senior year, and it came down to the head coach's discretion on whether I would sign with them or not. And I guess he went with another guy, so I was kind of stuck. Didn't know what I was going to do. Contemplated on giving up ball. But, I mean, God had a better plan for me. And with the help of my coaches, my high school coaches, and some mentors, and mainly my uncle, he told me about Georgia Military College, where he played his JUCO ball at. And I walked on to Georgia Military College back in maybe 2010, 2011, I want to say. And walked on, didn't get any money. It was like maybe close to 80 to 90 guys who walked on, and I was blessed to be one of the only guys they kept. So I was real humbled by that, being that they are known as the D1 factory of JUCO in Georgia. So that's pretty much how I wound up at Delta State out of Georgia Military College.
And during your 1 year at Georgia Military College, you recorded 34 tackles and 2 sacks. And then, like you said, you transferred to Delta State. What was it about Delta State that caught your attention?
Honestly, I feel like I just felt right at home as soon as I stepped foot on the campus. And I had graduated. I had got my AA degree faster than what it normally takes for a JUCO student. So it wasn't really a need for me to go back for another season, I felt like, in my family. So I took the first offer was on the table, and I never looked back, and it turned out to be a huge blessing for me.
It certainly looks that way. Last season was your first year at Delta State, Richard, and you started 4 of the 8 total games that you played in. You were able to record 33 tackles, an interception, and a fumble. The Statesmen finished 7-3, and you were named All-Gulf South Conference second team. What was that first year of yours like at Delta State, and what were your expectations for this season, your second year at Delta?
My first year at State, I mean, I just want to come in and just get my name out there, get my name buzzing around in the conference, because it's basically the Gulf South Conference is the SEC of Division II football. Everyone knows that, and I just wanted to just get my name, get my presence felt throughout the conference, and be mentioned with some of the guys who've already been playing in the conference for more than 1 year. Some of the top defensive guys. So that was my main goal. And honestly, I want to build the respect of my coaches and my teammates, and the trust, so that I can show them my ability to play. And as far as this season goes, coming into this season, I just really we laid the foundation down last year with a great group of seniors, getting the program turned back around from a horrible season the previous year. So we turned around to a 7-3 season. So this year, with a lot of guys returning and experience on the field, our vision was set for a national championship. Unfortunately, we fell short and lost in the second round of the playoffs to West Georgia, another Gulf South team. So my expectations just were to win the national championship and continue to be effective for my team and be that leader and be that guy who who helps move the program in the right direction. And as far as next year goes, I plan to continue to do the same things that's gotten me to this point, working hard, keeping God first, and hopefully we can finish the deal next year and just move, keep advancing versus being put out in the second round and accomplish that team goal of winning it all.
You had a pretty outstanding second season at Delta State, Richard. Very rarely do you see a defensive back lead his team in tackles, but that's exactly what you did with 74 tackles. You also had a sack, a forced fumble, and an interception. Like you said, you guys finished the season 9-2. Both of those losses coming against West Georgia, once in the regular season and once in the first round of the playoffs. I know, like you said, the season did not end the way you guys wanted it to. You guys were chasing for that national championship. Unfortunately, that was cut short. But how do you feel this second season of yours went, both individually and team-wise? I got to think there's some positives to take out of it.
Definitely. I mean, anytime you get a program going in the right direction, and you just chopping away until you finally achieve that ultimate goal. I mean, that's a great start. I mean, although we didn't win the national championship, we were fortunate enough to complete the task of winning our conference championship, which is one of our smaller goals on the season that we had. So that was a real big for us winning the conference this year. For these great group of teams that we had this year, they've been a great leaders for us throughout the whole entire year, and most of these guys have been here since all 4 years, and it was just great to see them go out on top as not national champs but conference champs. So either way, they were part of a championship team. So I was happy for them. Those teams from that aspect. But as far as individual play, I just wanted to continue to accept the challenge from my position coach to get better each year as I progress throughout the university and every season. So I just basically just wanted to continue to be consistent. You know, a lot of guys on the next level, they harp on consistency and staying healthy. So this year I stayed healthy the entire season and was able to contribute in a major way for my team. So I was just proud and thankful to God for allowing me to do that.
A little bit ago, you said that the GSC Gulf South Conference was the SEC of Division II football. Can you just elaborate on that a little bit more? What makes you guys the SEC of D2?
I mean, just the level of competition. I mean, after a win, I mean, our head coach always tells us, I mean, all right, yeah, we won, but let's get ready for the next one. I mean, not to say that any team or any conference takes plays off take games off or weeks off where they can relax, but I mean, you can't do that in the Gulf South Conference. But I mean, because everyone is good. You know, I mean, you have different styles of teams in the conference, and you see various offenses, various coaching styles, and things of that nature. And you get a lot of D1 transfers coming to the Gulf South Conference. So I mean, it's just the competition level. I mean, not to knock any other conference, but I mean, a lot of people have said it, they know about it, but I don't know what other way to put it, man. It's one of the toughest divisions I've played in.
Hey, sounds good. Chris Schanfeld talking with Delta State defensive back Richard Nash. And Richard, you just finished your second year at Delta State. Who would you say is the best or most impressive player you've played against?
Honestly, I would say Xavier Milton from Florida Tech, a second-year program in the Gulf South, who upset or had a chance to upset a lot of top dogs in the conference. So this is a prime example. I mean, any given Saturday in the Gulf South, man, you just got to bring every Saturday you got to bring your best A game. And another player is my teammate Casey Osborne, one of the nation's top receivers for the D2 level. So those two are probably the best players I've had to actually compete against. With Casey obviously being my teammate in practice, and Xavier Milton obviously in the game being that he was an opponent.
What would you say is the most memorable play or game of your college football career thus far?
I would say my first interception last year to seal the game, our first win of the season, and that was our head coach's first game as the head coach, Todd Cooley. He had just got here last year, so that was big for me, knowing that I picked off a ball to help us secure our win and get the coach's first win as the head coach. So, I mean, that was my most memorable play to this point.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Can't go wrong with an interception. I'll tell you that. A game-winning interception at that. I took a look at your highlight tape, Richard, and I see you're listed at 5'9", 180 pounds. I'll tell you what, you can't tell by the way you play. I'll tell you that. If there's one thing that I love in a defensive back, it's a hard hitter, and you can definitely lay the wood. What exactly would you say is your biggest strength as a defensive back?
Honestly, just my IQ, my football IQ, and just just watching film, knowing what to expect. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. A lot of guys on the next level, you know, they tell younger guys trying to get to that where they are and tell them that it's all about the small things, like standing in the film session a little longer, or you know, just all about preparation. So, you know, I take that into consideration. And that allows me to see things, sometimes see things before it happens, and break on balls faster than what I'm supposed to, or be in the right spot at the right time. So, you know, I mean, it's all about preparation at the end of the day.
And what would you say is a weakness of yours? Is there anything specific that you'll be taking some time to work on throughout the off season?
Yes, strength, building my strength, and I mean, I'm of course I'm 5'9", so I have to work on my ball skills when I'm going up against taller receivers, knocking the ball out, because I know some teams probably will try to kick on me because I'm shorter, or you know, trying to find a matchup. So, you know, those two things are key for me. You know what I'm saying? Being that I'm undersized, so I definitely have to continue to increase my strength and work on my ball skills.
Chris Schanfeld talking with Delta State defensive back in 2016 NFL draft prospect. So be on the lookout for his name. It's Richard Nash. And just a few more questions for you, Richard, and then I'll let you go. I really do appreciate your time, man. You're able to play safety, cornerback, and nickel, so you're pretty versatile, which is always a good thing. Which position would you rather play, though? If you had to pick one, which one would it be and why?
If I had to choose, I'd play safety. Because that's why Earl Thomas, he's a guy who I model my game after. I'm a huge fan of him. I mean, just the way he handles himself on and off the field. I mean, he's a guy, not to say he's perfect. I mean, everybody strives for perfection, but to me, he's a guy that does everything right. You know, his teammates love him, they respect him, and I kind of have that same vibe here at Delta State. So, you know, I just love him, man. He's a great player, great competitor, and like I said, he's undersized, so. But you can't tell because he plays with a chip on his shoulder, and I try to do the same thing. And at the safety position, you're in a position to make a lot of plays and cover a lot of ground and just, you know, be seen. So I mean, I love it. I mean, safety is probably the best position I've ever played.
It's definitely one of the most fun positions to watch. Here's a question I like to ask many of my interviewees, and you mentioned Earl Thomas. Now, there may or may not be another answer to this. But if you would compare yourself to a defensive back currently playing in the NFL, who do you think that would be and why?
I would say Tyrann Mathieu, just because of his style of play. I mean, a lot of people will be like, yeah, right, but you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I may not get the ball out as much as he does, but I do have some similarities within his game. How he's so relentless and tenacious. So, you know, just those type of things, just playing fearless. You know, and he's a guy that does that. I mean, you can't have any fear on that field. So, from that aspect, I would say Tyrann Mathieu.
All right. Sounds good. Now that the football season is over for you guys over at Delta State, what are you going to be doing during the offseason to better yourself and elevate your game to end your college football career on a high note?
Just availability, staying healthy, eating right, you know, dropping off some of my bad eating habits that I have, and just being able to just continue to take coaching from my coaches. You know, you can never know too much about football. The glass can never get full. You know what I'm saying? So just continue to learn and grow and develop and all the things of that nature. It definitely will help at the end of the day to accomplish the goals that I have set forth for my last year.
Is it too early to ask what both your individual and team expectations are for next season?
Nah, I don't have a complete list, but I know one of my goals that I wanted to have for my senior year is be the Gulf South Defensive Player of the Year and be a national champion and conference champion. So those are three goals that I would love to accomplish next year as a senior.
And last but not least, I'll add the link to your highlight tape in the description of this interview for those who would like to check it out. I strongly suggest to do so. When people turn on your highlight tape, whether they're college coaches, NFL scouts, or even fans, what do you want them to take away from watching Richard Nash?
You can't measure a guy's heart, the size of a guy's heart. I mean, I'm undersized, but you know, I don't play like it. So, I mean, this is the biggest thing, really. I mean, like I said, every guy just needs a chance, that one opportunity, you know, and hopefully I get it, and I'll be sure to run with it.
Hey, man, it sounds great. Richard, I really appreciate your time, man. It really was great talking to you about this journey of yours. Is there anything else you got for us before I let you go?
Nah, I don't have anything left in the tank, man. I think I pretty much answered everything, and I just appreciate the opportunity.
Hey, thanks, Richard. Once again, we're wishing you nothing but the best, and take care, all right?